Bella B.
Bella G.
Today we are doing a test that has been requested so much.
Premium balls versus range balls. What is the difference? What distance do we lose? Today we'll test it with a bomb drive. Not one, I mean 2 bomb drives. We'll hit 2 bomb drives each.
G-Star, however, I would add a half new range ball and a rancid range ball.
Let's say it has lived a long life on the range courses.
Tear it up.
And it's good draw. What a hit. I don't even need the mulligan, Gigi. Straight as an arrow. Center of the course, Ale.
Ouch.
Slightly on the left. This one maybe requires a mulligan because it touches the rough and comes up toward the hedge. I would play a second one.
And this is super healthy.
Yes, straight for straight and let's go. Now what? A range ball that is deflated.
Oh yes.
And this one doesn't need a mulligan either. Straight as an arrow, and now we're going to see it. Gigi, it's your turn now. What a bomb draw here.
Just a little draw and that's it. This, and we keep it straight. Now it's range ball's turn.
Oh yes!
Good first. Let's go with the rancid one.
You've already hit 2 draws moreover.
G-Star. Super open shot. I wanted to hit it super hard. This calls for a mulligan.
Yes, think so.
Also, this one a little on the right, but this one is on the rough, so we can save it. It makes me sick when I see the rancid ball. It was really bad. It was horrible. Whatever. Anyway, let's go and see the results. So before we get to the ball, one thing has to be said, of course. The balls of the driving range are a little bit more hard, but is not the right word. The feel when you hit it is like it's a little bit heavier, which in reality is not even true. However, that is kind of the feeling. Let's say on the course I wouldn't play with them.
Gigi, give us the definition, the structure of range balls versus premium balls. Why are they different?
So, the driving range balls are divided into 2 macro areas. The first is that of balls practically machined from a whole ball. Okay, so they are one part that is then formed with the dimples and everything. Those are the ones that cost less. We can find them in a good majority of the practice fields. Then there are some balls that are just balls instead. Regular balls, usually 2 pieces, those theoretically are basically balls similar to the ones that we can buy at first price to go play. The only big difference is that they are slightly lighter, because then clearly they struggle more going forward, so they usually lose between 10-15%, even 20%. Then it depends on the shots, because on long shots they lose a little bit more, on short shots they lose a little bit less. They don't really go in proportion. Clearly they are not made to play on the court, so you don't do that. And honestly, one thing we like to get across from this video is that if you think about practicing with driving range balls, you have to think that what they give you back is the fact that you hit the ball, so you have the response on the club, you can optimize your swing, you can also see a little bit how they travel, so whether they spin or they don't spin. Okay, so right, left, make some flight, high, low, more spin, less spin, but we can't use them to try to figure out how far they travel. Because since they're somewhat different from the balls you're supposed to play on the court. We see you guys, huh? It doesn't make sense. So sometimes I get so many people come up to me and say, but you know, I've been practicing, but on the driving range with the ball, I do 100 meters of flight. So 9 times out of 10, we practice from the mat. The putting green, and when it's not level, helps because the club bounces. So sometimes a bad shot goes almost longer than a well-hit shot, especially for certain categories of players. And then in general, anyway, the ball doesn't replicate what it would do on the court. So in my opinion, on the practice court, we practice swing at least. In my opinion, I prefer to do that. I practice the swing and also see a little bit how the ball flies, of course. Whereas on the other hand, the practice to understand how much you do is that there's not a damn thing to do. You have to do it on the court, and with the average balls you play on the court. For what we always say, try to play one ball or at least one category of balls.
And here we come to the results. The first balls we encounter, very similar in distance, we have them all lined up directionally. Are the two balls that we called rancid from the driving range. We figured we are just over 200 meters. Now we didn't measure precisely, but very short, however very close. Then the two practice balls appear, the ones in a good status, however spaced apart from each other. So there were really discrepancies based on the ball flight that we can give. Mine is slightly shorter. Gigi's, I would say, definitely longer here now. We're traveling around 230 feet on average. So Gigi just slightly more, me just slightly less. And we still have to walk a little bit to meet the others. Those others that are still further ahead. Yes, let's go. Let's walk, let's walk, let's walk.
Tell us the difference between the ball, the rancid one, and the good ball. What is the real difference?
The rancid ball has a problem. The dimples are now worn out. The dimples, for those who
What are
don't
the
know,
dimples?
are on the surface of the ball.
What are they for?
They are not for creating the right lift in ball flight. They do the effect of airplane wings. The balls, the ones that are a little bit frayed, worn by time, start to lose the effectiveness of the dimples, and so they fly a little bit, we can say a little bit more haphazardly. If we then put in the wet ball combination, beware that clump that give little spin to the ball. For example, the drive or ground woods, combined with a wet and somewhat old range ball, give a completely unrealistic flight. The ball quite often also struggles to fly with well-hit shots. So I recommend when you practice at least a drive or very long clubs, use new range balls. But we've come to our balls. The premium ones. Gigi was closer than me. Not very many though. We're on 7 to 8 meters, on a distance over 260 meters if we're here indeed. Gigi probably close to 270. I think I made 260, which is okay. I hit a good shot, but Gigi outplayed me. Moreover, without even having his club, he took my drive in early and made more meters than me.
Come on, we can't do this stuff. And did you know about how much distance there can be between a driving range ball, especially if it is rancid, and a good driving range ball, especially if it's hit by Gigi? And instead, the good balls. Now we use the ones we are used to playing, so the famous premium ones. We played a title, you can say. But what other balls would you like us to test? We already have other tests in mind, either with practice court balls versus medium or even good ball, like the one we played today, but also other little things. But let us know below in the comments what you would like to see. We will test it for you, and ci sta.